what's that called? Claw hammer mandolin. Make another attempt. We'll make another attempt. Oops. Yeah, I'm fine. Knocked a bunch of stuff over though. To try and ink a panel of Rapid Fighter. So what you missed so far is me finishing up the inks on take the pencils back off. Basically these top 3 panels. And then we're going to move into this bottom panel. Oof, what did I knock down? I was at the beach and I went to this comic shop that was there, and really cheaply they had some good Bronze Age stuff. Vault of Evil, E-Man number 9 with a painted cover, Joe Staton. A bunch of issues of Shogun Warriors, which I have not delved into very much. And yet my real concern is getting this done. Make sure I'm on the right layer, make sure I'm on the right brush. Make sure I'm on the right line weight. Which I'm not. When you zoom in really close, you can kind of really see all your mistakes. Oh, and I was just about to break the cardinal rule of Joe Prado. Is to always ink the closest thing to the camera first, and then you go backwards in receding order. So in this case, in this panel, the closest thing is this brick wall, or it's kind of a ruined brick wall. If you look at the preceding panel, and take the pencils back out, there's some kind of ate up stuff here, but I think that's supposed to be a one of these scrub brush bushes. So I can probably redraw it a little bit. It's this brick wall, and there's like a busted up bread van across from it. Some wrecked car. Kind of breaking out into the margins area. I think by starting with the closest things to the camera, you have a better chance of setting your line weight a little bit better. Line weight is extremely important when you're inking. I guess I'm going to ink right through this this little note. I don't know what these are called. This is something you would see a lot in Bronze Age comics, is a little like editor's note telling you if something happened in the story that references another previous issue or another story. You'd have an asterisk that would say, this happened back in issue, whatever. And I actually have enough issues of Rabbit Fighter where I've started to kind of do that. And I'm not doing it just for Rabbit Fighter, I'm also doing it for Prometheus Powers. So I think in Prometheus Powers, one of the stories I did, can't remember when it was. I'll have to look through it. I'm not as good as I'm not the same level as I was when I did this one. This is definitely a 2021 comic that I finished in 2022. I redrew some panels. I can't remember where it was. I thought it might have been on one of those early pages. Oh. Or it might have been on this one. No, I can't tell. Alright, move it on. Oh, to give you a little sense of where we are. If you haven't been tuning in, don't count that one. This is the first page of The Bitter End. It's Rabbit Fighter and Gallows, and they are escaping from Waste World. One previous to this is actually Escape from Waste World, which is an ashcan-sized comic. And they realize they've been ambushed by these zombies, these gamma ghouls, gamma zombies. They're radioactive zombies. And they have to fight their way out. So that's where we are. So what do you have to do? For me, it's all the boring stuff. To draw the backgrounds. All that stuff is important to the story. All right. I was looking at a recent cartoonist kayfabe showing the spirit. It's basically the spirit after Will Eisner comes back from the war, and he didn't like reboot it. He did a sort of a soft reboot. I actually saw a pretty good video from Dave Hangley where he's talking about, you shouldn't reboot your stuff because you got to see it through. And I guess Eisner must have somewhat agreed, because even though, it wasn't in his hands, he was in the army. He didn't do a full reboot. It was like a soft reboot where he started kind of changing up the tenor of the stories This is the one about the rich guy that becomes a Santa Claus. I don't know if you've seen that one. And I have a couple of those, right? I have a couple of the those spirits that are put out by Kitchen Sink Press. And before I even watched the video, I'm like, but the thing about those videos is about those comics rather is they're in color, whereas the originals are in black and white, and they kind of ruin it with the color. And they didn't show the one I was thinking of, but lo and behold, that's exactly where they were going with it. It's like they didn't like the color. Oh boy, great minds think alike, I guess. The one that I was thinking of, I only got a few of these, was the one where he's fighting the octopus or whatever. Maybe it's not even the octopus, but he's trapped underground in some kind of lair, and there's like a big guy that gets sent after him, and he gets him tangled up in some kind of like vault wheel, like a wheeled airlock looking thing. and Spirit manages to get him stuck in there. Alright. Back in Rabbit Fighters, Escape from Wasteworld. This comic here. Alright. I don't know what I was thinking with that cover. It's not very good. Alright. Once again, I almost broke the plan. We need the closest. And right now, I'm improvising. Because I just have kind of like some, I wouldn't say they're exactly scribbles, but they're like, they're just meant to imply that there's some scrub or some kind of garbage here. It's right next to this kind of junk field where previously they had found a robotic hand. Okay. Let's take out the pencil layer for a second. Also, this bottom margin, that's a bit of a problem. I think this is meant to be like a mesquite bush or something. Maybe not a mesquite bush. Something kind of spiky. A mesquite bush would have mesquite beans kind of hanging from it. I could do those. It's now canon that mesquite grows wild in Wasteworld. Make sure that we do some I've got a bad tangent here. Let me fix that up. Okay, that's looking good. Oops. Okay, let's bring the pencils back. Alright, we got something that kind of goes up here, and then we've got the ruins of a car. I gotta think about what I can create the ruins of over there. The car is definitely the next thing closer. There's the headlights. Let's say it has a crumpled. Crumpled front. Okay, how do we handle this headlight situation? There might even be like vines or something, some kind of vegetation that grows over the top here. And it's not that the windshield is opaque, it's just so dusty. Does that look like a car? A little bit, right? I couldn't tell you which car this is. Now some people will tell you, and rightly so, you should always be using reference. But in this case I am not using reference. The car is not that important, it's wrecked. And it's it's not a hugely important detail. Also, I'm more in the Jack Kirby school than the Alex Toth school, you know? With Kirby, it's like he had a couple of car shapes that he would go to and use. And he wasn't above using reference, but he didn't always use it. And that's certainly where I am. Now, and this is a junked car, so it's kind of, that's gonna, these are, by the way, are plants that are overgrowing the junked car. Alright, that's actually looking pretty good. Okay, definitely gonna have to have some shadows. It's kind of light degradation here. This is the windshield of the bread van that's next to it. I think we're close on this. So often, you know, you would see like a roof rack. Or some rails. All right, let's try some more plants. I don't know what these are yet. These could be rocks. I was kind of envisioning like trash bags, but I don't know if the trash bags would still be there or would they blow away. You know what I mean? Alright, let's take a look now. Okay, starting to come together. I've got another, I'm going to call it a sticker bush. Mesquite bush. In the junk field. Oh, I've got some, I should do some of these cactuses too. These are prickly pear cactuses. And you can see I've got these kind of low scrubby brushes. Yeah, same deal here. I need to do more cactuses right there. I'm talking about these dark ones here. So let's put some of those in. So they grow in clusters. Where my mom lives, there's still a bunch of them. I don't know what we got going on here. All right. Let's pull the pencil layer off again a second. Yeah, I think that's looking okay. All right, let's work on this bush here. I know this is technically inking, but I'm also kind of drawing. I like to draw from the imagination. I prefer it to draw from exclusively from reference. I'm not against it. You should see my Pinterest. I've got lots of great references. And I've been doing Inktober, and just because my last Inktober failed. Actually, I've never failed an Inktober. I have 4 successes. Where's my other Inktober, folks? Around here somewhere. Oh, hang on. This is my first real success, I think, as an artist, as I started doing Inktober, and I got 2019, so I followed the prompts really religiously on this one. 2020, that's this one, and I followed the prompts pretty good in this one. I feel like I degraded in this one. I don't think I was as good. But I was following the prompts. And then 2021, I decided to go off and I'll do the Jacktober, which is the Jack Kirby one. It's you know, I'm like everything's really referenced in something like this. There's my devil dinosaur. I don't think these are that great, obviously. Oh, it's one of my worst. One is Desaad. Superpowers, Atlantis. The man himself, right? And you know, when you're working in this tiny form factor, there's Asgard. The old gods. There came a time when the old gods died. It's opening shot of the new gods. Thought, okay, this year I'm gonna really put some effort in and use some of the tricks that I used in the first year in 2019, which is using ink wash. And I started out following the prompts. There's bat, for example, and scallop, and flame, and even bouquet. Then I kind of got sick of them. Well, that travel is funny. That was us. It's my character Simpleton, kind of doing the tarot card. He's stepping off the cliff here. I think by the time I got to this guy on 8 October, like, I didn't really care about the prompts as much, so I just do whatever. This was Nest. Crabby. This is Eagle. If you get the joke, you get it. If you don't get it, And then I just went back to some old favorites, which are Universal Monsters, The Mummy, Frankenstein's Monster, double page of Creature of the Black Lagoon, an armadillo, and I kept going. This is a fowl, I think, so it's a bird, a moa bird night, salty. Sailing, something I'm really interested in lately. The man thing. Can't remember what the prompt was. I just thought I'd draw a pretty girl. Fan of the opera. Werewolf. I think that was Bad Dog, right? Can't remember. Sort of a Mothman. The vampire. Can't remember. And this is today's, which is a fairy. You can see I did like a wood spirit with a bird. And it's the same kind of tree, you know, similar to this sort of sparse vegetation that I'm working on up here. If you keep a sketchbook, this is the kind of thing that you should have in your sketchbook, is, you know, how to draw backgrounds, background elements, plants, character designs. I highly recommend, and I've recommended it before, Sketchbook School, which is a channel on YouTube hosted by Danny Gregory, although I haven't tuned in much lately. One of the things Danny Gregory says that really appealed to me is, you know, you can have a big messy sketchbook of, you know, scribbly trash drawings, but you could also have a nice sketchbook. I like to think, you know, even my failed drawings, the ones I don't think are that good, I like to think that they're okay, they're nice. Sometimes I like to go back and look at them, especially when you keep them, like I have, for 4 years, right? You can kind of go back and see where you've improved. Maybe where you've degenerated even. Alright. I have a feeling I'm at 35 minutes. I don't think I'm going to get this whole panel done in the next 20. Oh wait, I didn't even put any mesquite beans in. Mesquite beans hang down. I think they do anyways. Let's make sure that... Alright. Almost got like two plants here. Okay. Some prickly pears. Okay. That's a start at a background. Okay. So now I probably could do Gallows. I mean, he's about the same distance as the broken van. Let's do part of the van anyways. Add a mirror. This van's going to see some hard times, so it's going to be a little bit misaligned with its hood. It's kind of like a bread truck almost. I'm gonna change its tire to this way. I imagine it's like rust covered and it's got a license plate. Alright. So we know we're getting into this sort of junk field. Oh, maybe there's one of those roof mounted like air conditioner looking things for a bread truck. Oh, maybe. Alright, without the pencils. Okay. you start kind of putting on this rust, you can use the lines that you're implying to sort of help define the shape. Of course. Those are now rocks. That works good. Okay. Gallows is saying, I have an idea. We can lose them in here. And I'll start Gallows. We're missing his eye line because of the hat. It's covering it. Maybe I didn't place his nose right. Okay. He's got a neckerchief. Standard Western wear. I'm not sure I got the shape of his head right. Actually, his head looks a little large, so we're just going to hope for the best. If we need to, we'll redraw it. He's got 2 pockets. And I should really alter my, there we go, whoops, my line weight at this point, if I haven't already. When you're drawing a cowboy character like this, look at that line. It's not a form-fitting costume. You got to really take into account clothing folds. And seams. the pencils. That's close. It's close. Okay, let's bring it all back. Okay, this is a difficult angle to show. He's holding a gun. Right? We're close up. We're close in there. He's got gloves on, so that's... Alright, that's a good question. My camera's above, but his hand is going backwards. So is it more correct that way? I think honestly it could go either way. It just implies the hand is further back. Remember that quote from Jack Kirby that I mentioned? Every red-blooded American man, or rather any red-blooded American man, can make a comic. It's actually true. I mean, it doesn't imply it's going to be an awesome comic or anything like that, or your figures are going to be perfect, or you're going to have it in perspective, but the skill we're talking about here is storytelling. The standard I like to go for, or I care about the most, is visually interesting. It must, at its core, have an actual story. Okay, he's got his other hand, he's going to have his other gun. The zombies are all behind him. He's running, so its pants are going to be kind of stressed. The wrinkles are going to be mostly he's wearing boots. He's kind of kicking up a storm as he's going. It's important to get his gun belt in there, right? Cowboys wear 2 belts. And one just hold your pants up. And the other one is for your weapons. And he's going to have both his 6 guns out. Part of the gun belt kind of obscures the other belt. And the other thing about the gun belt is that's where you got some of your ammo. Packing 6 shooters, alright. It was an unfortunate choice to stick his foot right in front of that tire because it might not work. Well, it looks like it kind of works. It kind of works. Alright, we're at 54 minutes. I kind of wasted a lot of time. And there's my main finger, trigger finger. And I'll just kind of fake the gun in. A little kayfabe for you. How's that look? Looks like it's coming together, right? Here's the whole page. That's it. Slightly larger than full size. If I pull off the pencil layer, it seems to work. Alright, I'm going to finish that obviously. Okay, please like, follow, and subscribe. My Instagram is rabbitfighter13. What else can I tell you? Follow me on Inktober. And if you're too late for Inktober, well, that's okay. After Inktober, I'm working on another anthology, which I'm putting together right now. We've already got a good number of pages. If I finish this, I'll put this in it because the theme is monster, and he's definitely fighting monsters. It'll be one of several stories that I put in there. And maybe catch us at a future convention. I have quite a few comics. You can only buy them in person right now. I don't really have an on sale, an online store or anything like that. And it's an ongoing adventure. I'm on a quest to 1,000 pages. I'm on 646. Let me check. Nope, I already closed the spreadsheet. I think I have about 646 pages. And 128 for the year. Or maybe a few more, I don't know. If you follow my Instagram, I have 2 comics that are just going to be Instagram webcomics. That are just, you know how you have the photo carousel that you can scroll through things. A lot of people use those for comics, and you can kind of scroll through the panels. So I have 2. I'll show you which ones. One's called Eden. And this is a sci-fi comic. And then I also have another one called Comet the Duck, which is a funny animal comic. Let me see if I can find Comet here. Here's Comet. Comet the Duck, which is a funny animal comic. And then finally, oh, we plan on doing another newspaper. I do big tabloid-sized newspapers. I'm gonna have another one of those come up. I'm still kind of working out details on how that's gonna work out, who's gonna be in it. Initially, it'll probably just be me, because this is one of those situations where we actually have to pay for the printing. I usually do print on demand because I don't like to pay for the printing, and I don't want to. I certainly would want to commit any other creators to pay to have their own work put out there. So print on demand kind of eliminates most of the tail end of that. And I don't know, stay tuned. We'll have a lot more comics and drawing going on soon. Bye now.